or to make one of the other shots. Like this one, this is going to be extremely difficult with 1 power. So we just kind of have to get it over here somewhere. And then I like to kind of sneak it over this corner. Get it over here. And then I don't know if we can make it over. Yeah, maybe we can. Okay. That was actually really good with 1 power. Usually that hole's a little bit more difficult. I made it look extremely easy. So apologize if your experience isn't as easy with the 1 club on this hole. I made it look a little bit easy. Normally it's a little bit harder. So the shot over the gap over here to land on that wood plank, it's very difficult with 1 power. Alright, this is another difficult 1 power hole, so we gotta see if we can make it over. Alright, so we gotta just hit it a couple inches, as I said. So that makes 1 power extremely tough, and it's definitely worth waiting. And then this one, you gotta learn how to bounce it off some of these and ricochet up over here. I don't even think it's possible to make it in. So we'll just take our 6 and move on. But at least at minimum at 2 power, you can always make that first shot over. Whereas 1 shot, as you saw, you can't always make that 1 shot over. And there's some other holes that we haven't seen yet in this walkthrough, where it's impossible to make the first shot over too. Let's see, this one, I don't know. So normally I like to go over to this side over here, hit it up over this little geyser, get it up here. Let's see, I don't know how far we can make it with 1 power. Let's see. Can we get it over? All right, I think we can. We just gotta get our angle correct, which I am not doing right now. As you can see, very difficult. Oh man, I can make it. Wow. Yeah, it's possible, but man, is that hard. All right, then we just want to plop it over here. Man, this may be our first loss. We'll see. No, it looks like other people did just as bad as I did on that hole. Yeah, but that's a great example of where 1 power is just so difficult. Once you get at least to 2 power, then a lot of these shots, it's a lot more reasonable to make like a 4, but jeez, so tough. Alright, so then this one with 1 power, I like to go to this left side. Normally I'll go forward. I like to go over here. And then I think it's somewhere in a hard yellow. Just land it over here. Then you want to land it off this left as far as you can. And that'll give you a clear shot into the hole. 4 is very good with 1 power. Once you get a little bit better and your club powers get higher, so 4 power mostly what I'm focusing on. 3 is very possible, and which you should be aiming for every time. Alright. This is another area where for 1 power we're just going to have to kind of hit it out here. No real intention, and then we can just max it. So you got to make sure you follow the wind, so the wind is going to push it in the direction it's going. Then we can just max it over here, max it over here. And then see how far we can get it. So the wind is going to push it to the left, so we want to hug it to this right side as far as we can. And we got it over. Cool. And take our 5. Once you get better and you get 4 power clubs, then definitely want to try to aim for 3 every time on that one. Alright, then this lovely hole, so we just have to hit it up. The wind is going to push it to the left, so let's just make sure we account for that. Alright, hey, that's not a bad leave. And I've never been here before, so I don't know how much power. I think it's probably going to be a light yellow. Ooh, I don't know. I'll take it and move on. It wasn't pretty, but we still won. Alright, how much more XP do we need? So the next one is Sakura Garden at level 8. We're close. We need a couple more wins. 21 game win streak. How about that? Alright, let's continue forward with Windy Cliff Adventure. Let's see. Alright, so then it's this hole again. So I just kind of like to aim at the little thing, that little block in the middle. It'll land us out over here somewhere. And then you could use it, get over here. Do we get a good angle? Yep. And then you can just kind of aim it at the hole, and hopefully we can get over. Nope. We gotta get our angle correct. There we go. All right. Perfect. All right. If you can get that angle correct on the first shot, then it's a relatively easy 4. But 5 is possible. I think I made 5 last time too, going the other way. Where's that Donna is right now. I generally don't like to go that way because it usually ends up in a higher amount of shots, but okay. So then this one, we started forward a little bit, but I just don't want to risk it, so I'm just going to hit it up a little bit. Then you got to learn the wind spin, and sometimes you'll land it down here, and it's definitely not the most desirable place to leave, because then you're going to leave it like over here somewhere, and then you got to play this jump into the hole. I don't know how much power I need, maybe a hard green. Yeah, too much. Bounced over the hole. But I still think that should be enough for the win. Alright. This hole is very tricky with 1 power as well, so you're just going to want to kind of hit it up the slope a little bit. Full power it down here. And then this shot is very delicate. This is one of the holes where we have the depression, which we previously talked about. So I think it's somewhere within a red, probably you're going to want to have it. And we got the good bounce there, but you'll see on that hole, if you don't get the bounce right, it's going to leave you very disappointed because it'll look like you're in the hole, or it should fall into the hole, but it's not going to land in the hole. It's just going to stop on like the side of the hill, which is very upsetting. Alright, this hole is also very difficult with 1 power. We're just going to want to bounce it off this wall, land it in here somewhere. The wind is going to push it to the left a little. We just want to use, I think it's like a light orange. Should get us over here in a good spot. Aim it just before the bridge starts over here. With 1 power, again, this leaves us in a terrible spot because now we just have to waste a shot to get into position. And then we got to learn how the wind is going to push over here, so it's just barely right of the hole. It's a hard yellow. Maybe it's a little bit more left, right of the hole than I thought. Both 1 power, 6 is very doable. I generally wouldn't recommend playing Windy Cliffs with 1 power, because once you get a 2 or 3 power, then getting 4 and 5 is a lot more easy. But I digress. Going this way, 1 power it, hug this wall over here, max it over now to this side over here, and then boop, easy 3. It's possible to get 2, but I think learning this 3 route is a lot easier in the beginning, and then once you start mastering that, then your second shot could be closer to that geyser, and then you'll be able to get it into the 2. But just try to focus. Learning kind of the initial directions to get your ball is key. Alright, this is another shot where we have to waste the spot just to get into position. And then it's a hard orange. I just want to throw it out over here somewhere. And then normally I'd say go straight at the hole, but now you want to go right of the hole. So kind of focus on the right or left side of this geyser, whatever you choose. And this will give you a good spot to ricochet it off the back wall. And hopefully into the hole, if I can get the angle right. And I didn't get enough power. That's the theory of how you would get it. Once you get a higher power club, then you can just go right over that middle divider, and it's a lot easier. Alright. So at this point in the game, we unlocked quite a bit of stuff. So we unlocked Sakura Gardens, we unlocked the Lava Land, and we unlocked Pine Forest 2. So this is another map where I'd recommend if you have 1 power, don't even bother trying it, because Sakura Gardens is so difficult, even with anything really under a 2 power club. Even with 4 power clubs, it's very difficult. So I would say probably wait on Windy Cliffs and Sakura Gardens. Lava Land is definitely doable with 1 power club to do okay, but at this point, definitely for people first starting out, they probably wouldn't be as much on a win streak as I am. So I've won every single game since I started this new account with 23. And I know all these maps and shortcuts generally. I'm not as familiar with 1 power clubs, but when I first started, I played a ton of Pine Forest. So on my main account, you may see that I've played like 13,000 games, but only now did I only reach 1 billion in score. That's because I played forever on Pine Forest, just because the entry fee is the lowest out of anything. So even if you're getting the free rewards over here, it's like collect 100 coins every, hour or half an hour or something like that. That's a free playthrough on Pine Forest. And then once you can get better, you you can just keep winning, and the 90 entry fee versus the 200 that you can win, it's pretty good in order to start out. So when I first started out, I wasn't focused on the leaderboards. I was just focusing on leveling up clubs to at least 3 power, learning the different shortcuts on each hole. Then once I learned Pine Forest and I had some higher power clubs, then I went to Rocky Mountain. And then once I learned Rocky Mountain, then I went to Snowy Valley. Mayan Jungle, I stayed here for a very long time because I enjoyed Mayan Jungle very much. It's my favorite map out of all these. I always avoided Windy Cliffs for the longest time, just because the win was very difficult, and then the entry fee was very steep. And so if you find at one of these maps you're a lot more consistently placing top 3, just stick with it for a while, and that'll help you gather some more coins. Because you can see, as you go up in these maps, the entry fee gets larger and larger. And if you're not consistently winning, your coins are just going to go down quite fast. So like right now, we only have just under 30,000 coins, and it's 4,000 to enter this, and then it's 5,000 to enter Pine Forest. But if you're very good at Pine Forest, then it may be worth starting to go into these 2 maps. So the only difference between these 2 maps and the original map over here is the maps will be inverted. So if you kind of like take a vertical line right down the middle of the map, and then you flip the left and right sides, that's all we're doing when we go into Pine Forest 2. So for now, I'm going to skip the other 2, and we're just going to go into Pine Forest 2 to show you. And this is a really good sample. Just kind of go over here. That's a terrible leave. I'm just going to yellow it, get it over here. Get it in the hole. I guess this is a good also chance to show the accuracy, because now we have 2 accuracy on this club. But as you can see, this hole last time on the original map was on the other side over there. But some of the holes are not guaranteed to be flipped, so this hole isn't flipped. But as you can see, if we have our accuracy now, look how much longer our line was, where previously our line was only like somewhere in there when maxed. So that's what the accuracy does. So it helps you aim. All right, but then this one, I gotta speed it up because people are getting ahead of me. It's a horrible leave. I just want to max it down, get it over here. Damn it. All right. Not doing too good. It should be somewhere in there. There we go. All right, I'll take before. Spend too much time talking. On this one, you're gonna have to learn the bounce. I think it's somewhere probably in here. I'm happy. At least I'm over. Get it out into the middle. And that should get us in the hole. You may actually win this one. All right, cool. So we won a Pine Forest too. Cool. And the benefit of just kind of skipping these other 2 is not only do you get more points and experience by playing Pine Forest 2, is you'll be a lot more familiar at this point in the game with the Pine Forest maps than you will Lava Land and Sakura Garden. Maybe you haven't even played one of those maps ever before. So I would just recommend skipping them for now. Just wait until you get some higher power clubs in order to even attempt to start doing those. Lava Land, if you definitely want, it's definitely reasonable. So we'll play a Lava Land match. 1 power isn't as bad, but as you'll see, there's some shots where you have to leave it up real short in order if it can actually do anything. So this one, you're just going to want to get it over here. And then I like to just try to get it somewhere. Ah, damn it. Got a bad bounce over there. You just want to get it over here, and then you got to learn the bounce. I think it's probably somewhere. No, that was miserable. That was terrible. All right. That was a miserable performance. So you definitely want to aim for 4 when you play this hole, especially with the 1 power. 5, it's okay, but if you have better players, especially you're being faced against, 5 is really not competitive. All right, let's see this next hole. Okay, so this one you want to leave it on the right side over here. I think it's going to be probably like a red. I think somewhere in a red. Should give us a good position over here. Yep, and then we want to wait for this far block. So this is a lot of waiting on these holes because you got to wait for these blocks to get into position. Want to wait for this far one. I think we're going to leave it short because we're a little too close. And it's going to be short. Yeah. Oof. So if we had more accuracy, that would have went in. So this is another reason I would recommend just kind of like wait for some of these other holes, because accuracy is so important on clubs. And this one you can get a hole in one. I don't know if you can get a. I've never tried it with a 1 power, so this is gonna be a first for me. I don't know how much power we need, so I'm gonna give that a shot. Oh, definitely need a little bit more power. But you can definitely easily time out on this hole, so I'm just gonna go this way to be safe, so I don't time out. I guess I had more time anyway, but that's okay. At least give us the win. So sometimes learning these shots, you'll have to spend some coin and you'll lose a lot. Hopefully some of the videos on my channel and other people's channel help you kind of understand it a little bit more, so you don't have to lose a lot in order to learn some of these shortcuts. But it's definitely going to take a while, and don't be afraid to lose on some of these. Alright, so this one, I'm going to try to focus more on this inside line. Hopefully, yeah, get it over. Okay, so that's a little bit better of a line for 1 power. Then we can get over here, and then we can try to get this angle correct this time. Correct angle, but with 1 power, again, we didn't have enough power in order to get it over to the hole. Okay, so what's some other things you need to know about in lava land? So these dark spots on the ground, so they kind of act... So they don't act like sand, but they'll definitely slow your ball. It's more so like ice kind of effect. So it's going to kind of slow your ball's speed down. And it's not going to spin it, but it's going to affect how far you can get it. If you have some spin, it's going to affect the spin on the ball. And so normally I'd go this way with 1 power club. I'm going to tell you just kind of aim for this 2 stacked block over here. Get it over here. And then wait for the big block that's going to come in the middle. And we're going to use a hard yellow. Just kind of aim at the hole, and this should get us in. There we go. Perfect. So easy 3. It's a lot more consistent than going this right side over here, kind of where that geyser is, and bouncing it over some of these rocks where the flag stick is. So I would recommend learning that one first. All right, and then again, this time we're going to use a hard orange instead. See where that leaves us. We want to be back a little bit more. Yeah, this is a little bit better. So learning this shot is very crucial. So this is just over, a little bit more than the lightest yellow you can get. And just aim it at the hole. Wait for this furthest block to come. And hopefully this should get us in. Maybe, yep, there we go. So there's a 2. So as you can see, you can do well on lava land, but there's really no point other than just learning the maps, because you can just go to Pine Forest and you're going to be getting a lot more experience and a little bit more coins, and you're probably a lot more familiar with these. And I think Pine Forest is one of the most friendly 1 power club maps, so I think kind of just skip those for now and then start going to Pine Forest and play this for a lot longer. But at this point, then we can see our fortune shot has reset, so we can go into our fortune, disregard. So fortune shot is something new that we've unlocked. So I was thinking of lucky shot. So previously we had lucky shot. So apparently at level 8 now, once you get to level 8, this fortune shot unlocks. I think I really don't know at what level, but in the upper left eventually, once we get to a higher level, I don't know which one it is, you'll unlock ranked missions, and that'll be an item that we can maybe cover later. But if you see on some of my other videos on my channel, you'll see the ranked missions. One of my most popular golf battle videos is when I ranked number 1 in ranked missions for one of the events. It's definitely more higher multiplier. So the collection bonus over here, higher multiplier players, and players who have a lot more time and they understand a lot of these holes and how to get into them, a little bit higher power. So it's not really going to be something you'll focus on in the beginning, because it takes a lot of wins and a lot of time in order to at least get some of the rewards, and you're not even going to be able to get all of them to get ranked anyway. So definitely kind of disregard that for now, but this is a new one. So this is fortune shot, and I really don't like fortune shot at all. So the way this works is you get 1 shot, and you have to get at least 1 ball in the hole in order to move on to the next one. Otherwise you have to pay gems. So I don't like this at all. It's a very miserable game I hate, but other people probably have better videos where they do insane on this, but I just kind of like to go just left or right of the center line. And hey, I got one in. Fantastic. So you can get some balls in here, you can get some clubs, you can get some hole effects. I generally don't, if I get something new, generally I just back out real quick. El Dorado, cool. Just for the video, I'm just going to keep going for you guys, but generally I won't keep going. Let's see what else we get. We get something else new. Got timber. See if I can get to, so once you get to multiples of 5, see if I can get to multiples. I guess I can get to multiples of 5, okay. You'll get a bonus round. Jackpot level. So for this one, I generally just like to hit the ball just on the left side of the ball, and then sometimes you can get 2 balls in, sometimes you can get 3, but you're guaranteed it. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, so we got our first VIP club. Okay, I'm collecting that loot and moving on. Oh my god. Wow, and we also got our first 4-power club. Oh, that is insane. Wow, so if you can actually get that, that is absolutely insane. So now, I would actually recommend you can play, if you get this insanely lucky as I did, you can actually play Lava Land, because 4 power on Lava Land is absolutely insane. Oh my god, that's crazy. Alright, so let's go back to Lava Land. So now you can see just how different Lava Land is going to be now that we have 4 power. So now we're guaranteed to pretty much get the hole in. I wouldn't say guaranteed because it's still tricky, but I'm a lot more familiar with how to get the hole in one on a 4 power over here. So we wait for that back to come up. And right around there. And look at that, hole in one. But for me, it's a big deal now that I have a 4 power club because I know the 4 powered shortcuts, but for you it may take a while to learn the shortcuts. But for somebody that has been playing as long as I'm, as soon as I get to the next power club up, it's absolute game changer. And then once you get a little bit better too, it'll be absolute game changer for you too. Alright, so then this one is a light orange. You want to land it perfectly on this dark square where I am, maybe just the one behind, and then you can just aim it right at the hole over here. So close. Oh, but as you can see, previously we're getting a 5. Now we're pretty much automatically every time I'm going to get a 3 now. And that's a 2-shot difference. That is absolutely huge. And a 3 on this hole could compete with the best players in the game. 2 3s compete with the best players. And then this one, instead of having to go to the right side, we can just shoot it right over here. And we landed it pretty good. So we want to get into like this thick spot where we're aiming. It's kind of like this little area where you want to aim it in. And it's a hard orange. You just want to wait for the double blocks to kind of come where the hole is. And then hopefully this will get you in. Oh, if we had a little bit more accuracy, that would have went in, but that's how you get the 2. And look at that. We absolutely slayed that now. So that is the difference between lower power clubs versus higher power clubs, is you can just make so much more shots. And a lot of the previous shots that were super hard to make, they're incredibly easier and much more consistent now. So let's see, we just go over here, get that perfect alignment. We do our hard orange. We're not going to be able to get into the hole, but we'll just line it up over here. So kind of see how that veered on the hole a little bit. So it was kind of going left to the hole, then it veered right into the hole. So that's what the accuracy does. And the more accuracy you have, the more it's going to veer into the hole, and it'll give you more tolerance. So if we had maybe at max accuracy, that would have been in the hole. And max accuracy is 5 power, but for most clubs, you're going to find that kind of accuracy on the VIP clubs, and that's about like the level 5 and above clubs, so that's very difficult. Alright, so this one, it's easy to get a hole in one with some of the legendary clubs. I don't really know how it works as well on these other clubs, so I'm just going to try it somewhere in here. No, but I'll be happy with the 2. So 2 is very respectable. So pretty much what I did there is I wait for these bigger tiles so you can see where the flag stick is. I'm highlighting those types of blocks. That's the one you want to wait for. And then the tip of the flag stick on that wall over there, that's kind of where you want to hit it. And then you just got to time it right to land onto that block. and then it should land you out into this open area to get the 2 quite consistently. All right, this one, you can go to the left. It's incredibly hard, so consistently I always go to the right over here, kind of bash it over, and then you just gotta learn this ricochet. So it's somewhere in the mid-yellow, and just kind of aim towards this first block, and then there you go, get you right in the hole. And look at that. Previously I was dreading Lava Land, but now once I got 4 power and I understand the 4 power shortcuts, I could be consistently placing first place, or at least top 3 every time now. So like this one, I know the shortcut, just kind of like go over here. It's mid-orange, that'll land us in a good spot over here. We can just ricochet it off this wall, get into a good position over here, and then land it right in the hole. So kind of as you're learning, kind of how I just explained every single shot, that's kind of what you want to think about and be able to get familiar with, is every hole, kind of be able to recollect your previous experience. You'd be like, okay, I have to hit this over here, I have to use this much power. If I have different areas that may be a little bit more risky, I got to consider whether or not I want to do it. So this one, forward thinking, I need full green, and I kind of wanted to leave it a little bit more on the left side, but we have enough room where maybe we can get the 2. Just barely. If we had more accuracy, we would have got the 2. But just being able to think about some of those and knowing where your shot's going to land with different effects. So going over jumps, where your ball's going to land. Have a little bit of experience of when it does land, is it going to move forward? Is it just going to stop really quick? All right, then this one, we want to line it up over there. Wait for the blocks. And then there we go, we get our 2. So as you'll see, like if you were kind of like wind the video back to last time we had this hole, the second shot, where my first shot where it landed, was pretty much exactly where the first time was, because I just know these shots very well. And that's kind of just the mentality you want. So we want to be very confident when you're going into these shots. Like this one, this is a very tricky hole and it's very dangerous. So I know it's somewhere within orange and you want to land it on this, but sometimes that can happen. So it's very tricky. So sometimes maybe you'll find more comfort going that way, whereas sometimes you may more find comfort going that way. So wherever you're most comfortable. So like maybe a yellow in here. Nope. And then now the timer is going to go off, so you're going to kind of start to panic. So now you just kind of get it into place in order to just rank in the hole. So we're probably going to lose this one. We don't know. But that's some areas where if things aren't going well, just don't panic. Even if you do lose, it's not that big of a deal. Now, this time, look, we landed a lot more further, so now we don't have to worry about the banks. Now we can just aim it directly into the hole, and there we go. Easier 3. We don't have to work on the bounce. And that's just sometimes, depending on how the game is programmed, some of these ramps are going to come out really hot and go a lot farther. Sometimes you're just going to go up a lot higher in the air. So it really depends, just becoming familiar with the games, and no matter where it lands, just kind of getting familiar and how to get the shot into the hole. So like this one, we know we want to wait for that big block to land in the middle. We want the hardest green that we can get. You don't want to hit the wall on the left. We want to land it somewhere in here. We know this is too far, so we can't directly get it into the hole, so we want to hit it left enough so we're not hitting that wall. And then we'll just go in, get our 3. And just like that, we had one really bad hole where we almost didn't even finish, and because we were confident and we kept moving forward with the confidence that we needed, we were able to make the shots we needed, and we still finished. Now we unlocked the next level, which I wouldn't recommend you play right now at all. If you only have 1 power, I wouldn't recommend buying these clubs, because they're a lot better clubs, which we'll kind of discuss as we go forward. And depending on how lucky you are, man, you can't get much luckier than getting the VIP club out of Fortune Shot. So if we go back, so if you were curious, if we go to the very bottom, and then we find where Fortune Shot is. Let's see, where's Fortune Shot? Maybe it's on the top. Maybe on the top, because it's one of the only clubs we have. Let's see, Fast, Forest, East, Beginning. Where's our Fortune Shot? Should say Fortune. There it is. So Fortune. So these are all the items that you can get out of the Fortune, which is essentially that billiards game. So you can get common, premium, you can get some of these VIP items, but we got the one legendary club that you actually can get out of it. That is absolutely insane. But for now, we're on a 30-game win streak. We haven't lost. We're doing really good. We got 4 hole-in-ones, which is decent at 30 games. But we only have one club that's above 1 power. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess in the next game,